Hello and welcome back to Ask Amrita and Bela on Child Development. Thank you for sending us your questions. As per our format, we have two questions that we will answer. Bela will answer one question and I will answer one question. So the question I have is, what is object permanence? Now, this is a question I have also written a blog on. So I'm going to be sharing the link below and you can read the blog also. So, what is object permanence and why is it so important? Let me tell you an incident. So, my son Pranav was less than a year old and he couldn't speak. Now, we lived in a large joint family, and my aunt used to take him around quite a bit in the house, as just like the other family members. One day, I was looking for my aunt and I carried Pranav in my lap and took him to her room. Now, when I went over there, I saw that she was not in the room, but Pranav kept pointing at the cupboard door. So I thought, just like my habit was to tell him all the names of everything, maybe he wanted to know what the door was. So I said, door, that's a cupboard, Pranav, and it's brown color. Do you know you keep your clothes in there? And, just the same banter which mothers always do or teachers always do. But Pranav just kept pointing on that door. And then finally, I just opened the cupboard to show him, yes, it's a cupboard. Things are kept inside. And guess what I saw? There was this big jar of sweets. And apparently, that aunt used to give him a sweet every time he came to the room. So Pranav wanted that sweet. Now, what am I bringing about? Pranav couldn't speak, but Pranav knew what was behind the closed door without him seeing it. And when a child knows, or when a person knows that things exist without them being able to see it, that is called object permanence. Now that is very, very useful, because now if you take a letter and you take a letter A, what does it represent? It represents a sound. Can we see the sound? No, we can't. Look at number 2. It's a representation of two objects. Now can we see those two objects when we're writing numeral 2? We don't. So a child needs to pass through this stage for him to be able to do any sort of teaching and learning. When you have children and they are actually looking and waiting for you, it's because they know that you are there, or it is because they don't know that you are ever going to come back. So either object permanence has not developed or object permanence is developing. So let's look at what we can do to build object permanence. All of us have dupattas at home, or a hanky. Take your hanky and put it up and hide your face. And let the child pull it down, or you pull it down and say peekaboo. Now this will help the child understand that even though he can't see you, you are still behind and you're down. So this seems like magic for the first few months. But after that, the child understands that he is supposed to pull it down. You can even put it on your child's head and have him pull it down so that he knows that he is hidden and he can see you. You can do it over objects or hide his toys and have him look for them so that he knows they are there, even though he cannot see them. And you have these lovely peekaboo bottles. Just take a transparent bottle, cover one half with an opaque paper, and then you can put some, small loose parts in the other side, the transparent part, and let the child turn it upside down so that he can see those objects sometimes and he can't see it sometimes. And this is going to help the child understand that, things do not disappear just because you can't see them. So I hope you are going to be using these activities. Look at them and see what you can do for yourself at home.
The second question is that my child is only 3 years old and he lies now and then. How do I correct this behavior? I'm worried if I don't correct it now, it's soon going to become a habit. Yes, I can understand. Lying is not a good habit, but let's understand why children lie. Small children don't even realize when they are lying. Children need to understand the difference between truth and lie. That normally happens only when the child is 4 years old. When the child starts going to preschool, he develops his imagination. They start mixing make-believe and reality and start making up stories. Sometimes children lie to get away from unwanted situations, in other words, punishments. What to do if your child is lying? We need to get to the root cause. Is the child scared of you? Sometimes children lie due to fear. They fear the outcome, so they lie. Don't put your child in a spot. When you know your child has lied, don't threaten or scare your child. Hold the child close and tell him you know the truth, and if you will be honest, you will not scold him or punish him. And if your child tells the truth, then keep up to your word and not punish him. You may be very angry at that time, but just give him a warning. Use the situation as a teaching opportunity. Be calm. You might say, I'm sure that's not what happened. Do you think it happened that way? Or could you say, how would you feel if someone said that to you? Make the child think for himself. Then you should always praise the child when he tells the truth. When your child has been brave and he's spoken the truth, praise him. And of course, model being truthful. Your child is watching you all the time. You need to be speaking the truth yourself. Sometimes we only ask the child to lie. Your child picks up the phone and it's for you, but you don't want to speak at that time. So what do you tell the child? Please tell her that mommy is sleeping. So we need to be careful what our actions are. So the child is looking and watching you all the time. You must make it a family rule. Everyone is going to speak the truth and be honest. Hope these tips will be helpful. Please try them out and let me know. In case you have any more questions that you would like us to answer, kindly write to us at theabcdshow6@gmail.com. Waiting to hear from you.